one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight is, oh, I'm so sorry, Bob. I'm going to kill Bob. I'm going to kill the other Bob for giving him that. We're going to talk about how to live in the moment by making yourself a priority. And I just want to segue into a little story. I met a person, and we thought we knew each other, and we kind of went through the routine, and we mentioned Holy Family, and she says, oh, this is recent, and she goes, yeah, I go there. What's the first question you ask? I go, oh, well, what mass? And then she says, oh, well, you know, to tell you the truth, I haven't really gotten there in a while. And I said, oh, really? Why? Something happened? You know, she's like, oh, no, nothing happened, but I'm just so busy. My life's so busy. And I said, oh, yeah, well, you know, I can appreciate that. And she goes, and I really like to sleep in on Sunday morning. And I said, well, yeah. I said, well, how about Saturday night? The Saturday night mass, 5 o'clock. That's an awful nice mass. That's the one I always go to. She says, oh, Saturday's such a hectic day. And I said, well, you know, yeah, it is hectic. I go, hey, did you know Holy Family had a 4 o'clock mass on Sunday? Did you know that? And she's like, well, yeah. She says, but you know, to tell you the truth, I just, you know, my life is so busy, and I got the kids. I'm like, the kids? I said, well, what about, you know, how old, you know, what about religious ed? She goes, oh, well, they go to religious ed. I go, oh, well, they go to religious ed, but, you know, you don't make it to mass. And it was a real nice conversation. She goes, well, I wanted to make their confirmation. And then I'm thinking, wow, that's interesting, you know, that, and I didn't judge, I didn't say anything, you know, but I found it interesting where the priorities were. And I found it interesting when I think about pray it off too, because I've had people, you know, come and go, and they'll say, you know, my life's really crazy right now. And I'm thinking, crazy for what, that 1 hour a week? And then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, you got to get dressed, you got to drive. So maybe that's 2 hours when you bundle a half hour. We all live kind of close. All right, so I'll give you 2 hours. And then there's the log, you know. And I timed myself once, and I figured it takes me maybe 5 minutes a day. So that adds up to what, like a half hour a week to do the log. So we're in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but wait a minute, I've read some of your logs, so I better give some people an hour to write them. Okay, so I'll give you 3 hours. We're up to 3 hours. It's not the 3 hours. What it is, it's the same with that lady in church. It's not a priority. Losing weight and getting healthy is not a priority. You are not a priority in your life because you're putting out fires. Especially, I used to think it was just mothers of young children. And then I'm thinking, well, no, I don't think it's just mothers of young children. I think it's mothers of any children. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. It's not just parents. What about taking care of your sick relatives? What about people who've got demanding jobs? Everybody's pulling at you. And so what do? You reach out to the food. It's not the 3 hours a week that you need to come here and the log. It's just the thinking about it. I don't even want to think about losing weight because it takes too much effort to think about it. If we don't think about it, if we don't make ourselves a priority, we will weigh more and more and more till we go to the doctors and they say, oh, you need insulin now. Or you go to the doctors and they say, you got some heart, you got some kidney, you got some this. How do we make ourselves a priority? We're going to talk about that. What do we live our lives for? To get approval from everyone else or approval from God? I live a great deal of my life for approval from everyone else. I do. I want them to say, Ellen's so nice, Ellen tries so hard, she's so thoughtful, she's considerate, she's a hard worker. I live a ton of my life worried that if I don't answer someone's emails, which I'm really behind on my emails, I go to bed at night thinking, are they saying maybe Ellen's not very thoughtful because she didn't answer my email? I worry a great deal about that, and I'm trying to get better because all that worry about outer approval puts stress on you, makes you accept to do things that you might not have time to do, and it turns you towards the food. So many of us are so busy that we're not good to anyone else. We're not getting enough sleep. We're not even combing our hair or brushing our teeth. Now, I do fit that in. I do fit in the brushing of the teeth. But I'm telling you, there are people that I look at them and go, slow down, and then they say, I can't. I got work, I got the kids, I got this. How can I go to pray it off when my life is crazy? How do you make it less crazy? Sometimes you need to just sit down and say, where are the priorities? All right, I have to do this. If I don't take my kid here or there, there might, like school, that's a priority. But one of the things that Vince has gotten very good at is saying to someone, hey, you live up by me. Can I have a ride home? Can I have a ride? Now, if I go to pick him up and there's 3 kids there and they need a ride, I'm like, get in the car. I believe in the law of reciprocity. So I'll say to him, your father and I are a little crazy. I'll get a ride. Well, does it mean we're bad parents? Oh my gosh, other people bring our son home sometimes. We're bad people. No, it means we're free now to do something else because we're not the chauffeur every second. There's a lot of people who live where we live. I'll help their kids sometimes. They help us. We need to, when Maureen and Yvonne said, can I help with the copies? My first thought was, no, I always do the copies. I know how it goes. Let it go. Now if they said they didn't want to do the copies anymore, I'd go, no, you got to do the copies. You have to delegate. Here's some good tips here. Spend some time outdoors. Even if it's to go stand on your porch, look up at the sky and say, praise God for this beautiful day, even if it's raining, because we're on this side of the ground. My grandmother lived in 96, and she'd say, it's a good day when you're on this side of the ground. We have problems, we have issues, but we're still kicking. And I like this, make a chart. You know, my sister who's in St. Camillus, she can't help herself. She's a priority. Someone else over here who might want me to do something, I might say, oh, I really want to, but now's not a good time. Can I take a rain check on that? Sometimes even fun things, you can take a rain check. Because sometimes you get behind in your other things because you're having too much fun. Plan your fun. I like this one, drive slower. I am such a calm driver. Don't I seem like I'm kind of like a crazy person? But when I drive, like there's 4 lanes. I'm always over in the right. Why do I have to be in the left? Why? I'll say to Bob sometimes, do we need to be in this lane? Why don't we get over here? I'm just driving. Somebody cuts in front of me, I'm thinking it could be my mother, it doesn't matter. I never have said a swear word, I've never done any gestures with any part of my body. I find it I don't listen to music, I pray. Driving to me is very, over slow. If you're going to work like a bad out of where, get up a little earlier. I had to be to work at 8 today, I left the house at 7. It's downtown. It's not that far. I'd rather be early than late. I'd rather get here and have all the ducks in the row than me coming running in here at 5 or 6 going, hi, everybody. We need to take a breath. I love that yoga. I find myself now getting tense and I'll go, oh, take time to breathe. And then a few other pampering things. You need to take a shower, wear decent clothes, make yourself feel better. I never got my nails done. It costs $15. I get it done every 3 weeks. That's $5 a week. I don't spend a cent on snack food or eat anything at the office. I bring an apple and a yogurt. I'm worth $5 a week. And it makes me feel good. People at work think I'm rich because I wear all the cast-off clothing that everyone at Pray It Off gives me. And all my jewelry comes from garage sales, every bit of it. Like they'll say, oh, that ring is so beautiful. I say, well, I got it at a garage sale. And they'll go, ah, ha, ha, ha. Like I'm joking. My Dooney and Burke from a garage sale, $3. Come on, come on. We can pamper ourselves, and my husband's giving me the go sign, so I'm going to stop right here and talk more about it in a second.